Oh gosh, my voice. Hello, friends. I apologize for being late. How are you guys doing? I am currently in San Francisco. It is 6:30 a.m. What about you guys? Hello. Hello from Brazil. Hey guys. Hey Evers. Hey Aya. Hey Alex. Hello Renato. Hello everyone. Okay, so sorry. Trying to drink some water to recover my voice a little bit because I've been talking a lot these days. Okay, actually, why don't we just get started? Because a lot of things going on, many things going on. Okay. Um, let me pull up the slides. All right. Okay. Should be able to see my slides, right? Yeah. Yes. Yes. No. Maybe. I think yes. All right. Okay. Trying to adjust this. Kind of. Did that work? Okay. Good. All right. Okay, so I have a lot of things to cover. The reason why I wanted to do this live stream is because I think there's a lot of like updates that have been happening. A lot of things have been just coming out recently. So I do think that it warrants an update in terms of what it is, like the major areas that you should be learning about going to 2025 and beyond. I want to share some of those things. So this is going to be like a roadmap. I'm going to link some of my own videos and some resources along the way, but I wanted to kind of give you this like general overview of here's like the major areas of things that you might want to be focusing on when it relates to AI and then going into the future as well. And okay, so today's agenda, I want to give you guys some updates from Google I/O, like very briefly, and Anthropic, because I was in both of these conferences. Also, I'm in San Francisco, by the way, because I was going to like these different conferences, and there was a lot that happened. Drop in the chat conference if you've seen one of these conferences or both of these already. Yeah, let me know if you've already seen them. Oh, let me change my face. Let's make my face smaller. Nobody wants to see my face. That's not as important. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, drop in the chat if you have, let's make this bigger. If you have write the word conference if you have seen one of the conferences, both of the conferences, or yeah, any of them, or the highlights that are there. Yeah, and then I wanted to talk about like the larger areas of what it is that we're going to be covering. What is the most important things that we want to be covering? Okay, so starting off with the Google I/O conference, that was beginning of this week. So it was a 2-day conference. A lot of it was happening, but the major kind of theme of it after Gemini 2.5 Pro and Flash came out was that they're doing a lot of deep integration into their products. So a lot of it, Google's like major thing is that they have a lot of they have a lot of products, right? And then they have a lot of like infrastructure that's already there. So they're integrating that with a lot of like Gemini 2.5 and Flash capabilities, like AI capabilities throughout, as well as multimodality capabilities. So the products that we're currently using already, they're going to have a lot of major updates when it comes to AI functions. And was the general theme. And that included things like search and communication. You guys many of you already seen that for search. There's already like this AI section there. Developer experience, like Firebase Studio, Google AI Studio. I'm probably gonna do an updated video of that because especially Google AI Studio got a pretty major upgrade where you're able to now create applications like fully through Google AI Studio. That's pretty cool. Low code and no code. There's a lot of vibe coding stuff as well. Yeah, they also have like hardware. I mean, we put you know Google Glass. They've been trying to do that for like the past decade. But I think finally they've gotten to a point where there's just like, it's like AI glasses now. So we'll see if that actually works out. The demo, what they were talking about in the conference was pretty cool though. So we'll see what happens there. And then obviously like the major theme also was agents, like agents everywhere. They're developing agents for a bunch of different things and putting everything there. I also had a question for you guys. Do you guys like this kind of slide experience? So there's more words on it. My usual style previously was like I would just like talk about stuff, and then the slides would be like support. And these I may not go through all like each part of the slide, but it's like there as text, like extra information. Do you guys prefer this kind of slide style, or do you prefer the old version where I would just talk through them? Let me know in the chat as well. Just put in new or old. Trying out some new things here. Conference. Okay. Looks like both of you, a lot of you guys have seen them. Okay, cool. That is very good. Okay. So key takeaway is Google is pushing AI integration across all their products, from search and development to future XR experiences. Okay, and then on the Claude side, I was also at the Anthropic conference, which was a couple days ago. It was a developer conference, and their major thing is that they released 2 major models, which is Claude Opus 4 and Claude Sonnet 4. They've really sort of just like stopped doing the game of chatbots. Like they're not really competing with OpenAI or Google anymore to create the best chatbot. I think they're much more now focused on just creating the best AI like coding agents, the best models for coding, and the best products surrounding coding. So key highlights was the Claude 4 models, which is really good at coding, and they're able to do autonomous things for hours and hybrid reasoning. They still are pretty constrained when it comes to the token sizes. The context windows. Yeah, the context window is still at 200,000, which is really not that much compared to other companies, other models, like with Gemini being over 1 million, right? I think they're like at almost 2 million now, where they will be at 2 million pretty soon. But with that being said though, because they're focused on coding agents specifically, like they came up with a bunch of ways with Claude Code, which is their command line tool, their command line interface tool, in which to get around these things. They've just kind of built it in directly. And that was actually the thing that I was most impressed by, which was Claude Code. I don't know if we have time, but I want to show you guys a demo where I may make a video about this instead, because I was like freaking blown away by Claude Code. I've tested it out myself as well, because I'm making a video with all the Claude stuff. It is pretty freaking mind-boggling. Like I am convinced that CLI is going to be where it's at these days. Even for those of you who are non-technical, like I would really encourage you to check out Claude Code, or you can wait for my video where I'll be like showing you how it is to set it up, and then some like demos of Claude Code as well. Or might be do like another live stream about it. I was genuinely really impressed. Like if you're kind of like on the fence about trying out Claude Code, you're using like something else right now, I really recommend that you do check it out. It is freaking impressive as a coding agent. Okay, let's see if you guys prefer these slides or not. New slides? New, old, new. I have seen none. Okay. Okay, you guys like the new slides, right? Oh, and also, if you want these slides, another reason why we fleshed out like these slides is because after the live stream, you can feel free to sign up, like get the slides from here, sign up for this mailing list, and we would be sending you the slides afterwards. So I figured there was more resources that are available here as well. So I'll pin that message. Yeah, if you want the slides afterwards, please do sign up here. New? Okay, cool. All right then, and these slides were made by Claude. Are they competing on price? Yeah, so if you want to go by best prices, still gonna be Google and Gemini. Most like it is free, right? You can't beat free. Cloud Code is expensive, but it is freaking good. Like really, really freaking good. Okay. Moving on. Yeah. I really say like check out the highlights for both of these conferences as well if you're interested. It is pretty damn good. Okay. So for the first area of mastery, right? The first thing, the highest return on investment thing that I can possibly think of is still going to be prompting. I know people have a lot of comments about like, oh, like, do we still need to prompt as things get better, as we have agents, as everything gets better? Like, no, prompting in fact is becoming more and more and more important, especially with like development of agents and vibe coding. It's just like, yeah, like it's getting just even more important these days. And it's not just me saying this as well. Like throughout the conferences, I've spoken to a lot of the researchers that were there, developers that built these tools. Like they were saying as well, they had like entire sections dedicated to prompting in the conferences because of how important prompting has become. So yeah, highest return on investment thing possible, and anybody can learn how to prompt. You don't need to learn how to code or anything like that. So there's a lot that comes to, like a lot that I can talk about, but I would say if you want to be like better than 90% of people at prompting, 95% of people at prompting, I would say, let's call it 95% of people at prompting. If you want to get better than 95% of people at prompting, there are two frameworks, if you can just remember, that will get you there. And the first one gets you like 80% better than most people, and the second one gets you 95%. So the first one, I call it the tiny crabs ride enormous iguanas framework. Yeah, so that's the acronym, the mnemonic for that, the TCRE, I can't remember that. So tiny crabs riding enormous iguanas. And this framework came from Google. So not taking credit for this one. I just came up with the mnemonic because their mnemonic was like super boring and I couldn't remember it. So I call it just tiny crabs riding enormous iguanas. But this framework came from Google. And when you're prompting, you want to include a task which defines the clear objectives, the context, which provides background information, resources by including examples and templates, evaluate by getting feedback and results, and iterate, refine, and improve. An example of this would be the task would be drafting an email, the context would be customer history, resources would be previous templates, evaluate would be peer feedback, and then refining the tone when you're iterating through it. So I also do have videos about this. So yeah, I'll like talk about here. So I linked some videos as well where I cover these in a lot more depth. The second framework, which gets you 95% better than most people, when you do the first framework afterwards, it's called Ramen Saves Tragic Idiots. So can you guys remember these? And this is when you want to revisit, review, and rethink the prompts. Shorten is try making the sentences more concise. Try alternatives, experiment with, not synonyms here, this is a typo, I'll fix that. Alternatives as in like try out different ways of saying what it is that you want and coming up with analogies for alternative ways to express yourself. And then introduce constraints is to actually add in specific constraints to things, because the more specific you can get with a prompt, the better it becomes. Yeah, an example of this would be, it's just prompts, shorten the sentences, try it out, and then constraints would be like limiting it in some format. All right. Type in the chat now. What were the two mnemonics? Do you remember? Type it in the chat, please. Yeah, I have this video linked over here. I go into a lot more detail about these frameworks as well as other prompting techniques, more advanced prompting techniques as well, which was covered in a really great prompt engineering course from Google. Let's see. Okay. I want to see if you guys could manage to get the acronyms. Not acronym. I keep saying acronym. It's not an acronym. It's a mnemonic. The mnemonics. You guys remember the acronyms and not the mnemonics, really? I can't remember acronyms at all. I just forget. I forget immediately. Prompting is king at the moment. Prompting is king, and it's just becoming more and more important as time goes on. Like, it genuinely is. It's like being able to prompt well is, yeah, it literally makes such a big difference. Imagine going to a world where communicating with AI is the key skill to succeed. Well, I mean, right now, one can make the argument that communicating with other humans is the key skill to succeed. So I guess you're just switching that skill to communicating with AI instead, huh? Ramen saves tragic idiots. Tiny crabs ride enormous iguanas. Yes. Good job. Good job, everyone. 3 tiny crabs. Alexander Moffat, he's just like, crabs. I mean, I guess you got one of them. Context. Sure. Depends. Some people do find mnemonics to be less helpful. Really? Okay. Interesting. Okay, I guess we should put both then. All right. So second area that you should focus on, and these are kind of sequential, right? Like if you're going to start from somewhere, start with the prompting. Oh, and also write in the chat for your prompting right now from a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think you are at prompt engineering and prompting AI? 1 to 10. So the next section that you should focus on after the prompting stuff is on AI agents. And I'm sure all of you guys have heard like AI agents everywhere. Everybody's talking about agents these days. And this is just getting bigger and bigger. Like just even with the release of all the new products and all the conferences that are going on, people are just like going crazy about AI agents with good reason, with very good reason, and integrating into their own products, having standalone software, part of like different business workflows and things like that. Starting with the big tech companies, you'll probably, it's not probably, we've already see more and more companies are incorporating agents into their workflows. So it's a very much continuing trend. And if you know how to work with agents, damn, like there's so many opportunities available. I get like so many people asking me to build them agents, to incorporate it into their businesses, like a variety of different companies reaching out to me to do these contract jobs. And the reason is because everybody wants to incorporate them, but there's so few people who actually know how to use AI agents or build AI agents very, very effectively, especially like building AI agents specific to certain use cases. So that's why right now, by the way, we're running the AI agents workshop. The AI agents bootcamp. I'm sorry, it is like 6:53 a.m. That's my excuse for why I can't speak right now. We're running the AI agents bootcamp, and we're teaching people how to build these AI agents because there's just so much opportunity. So many companies want people to do them, and if you own your own company as well, like please learn how to do like AI agents. You can just accomplish so much. So when it comes to AI agents, software systems, the core definition is very, very generic, really. It's just basically AI agents are any software systems that use AI to pursue goals and complete tasks on behalf of users. You generally hear them as defined by specific roles like coding agent or like marketing agent or customer service agent. So it's really able to autonomously do the many things that a human would be able to do to pursue those goals and complete those tasks. So they're goal-oriented, autonomous, and user-focused. So there's a lot. So I've made like 2 full videos, and we literally have an entire bootcamp that is dedicated to building AI agents, like how to make AI agents for specific use cases. So I can't possibly cover all of this now. So I did make like a fundamentals video here, and then also like a overview of practical things about how to build AI agents in this video as well. So I really recommend that you guys check out these 2 videos. I think I did a pretty good job, if I do say so myself, in covering like a lot of the basics of what it is, as well as how to get started building them. I'll probably be running the agents bootcamp again next month is the plan, because there's so many people that were interested. We sold out before we can even release it to the public. So it's like, okay, that is good. People are interested. So we're probably going to do that as well. Yep. And then here's like a little link to a guide. This is OpenAI's definition of the components that make up an AI agent, and it's pretty good. So I would check it out after. Any comments so far? Okay, let's see the numbers. 636.87. So this is from prompting, how much you've mastered prompting. 0. Okay. We have a very big distribution. Very big distribution here. Okay. Well, you guys have, if you're not at least at an 8, like you are missing out. All right, get yourself to an 8 at least, and you be like, even if you don't do anything, you're just really, really good at prompting, it can completely change your experience using AI. And it's also like foundational if you want to do things like AI agents or anything else. Like prompting is literally like the glue that holds everything together. So get good at that. Okay, so moving on to components for AI agents. Oh no, where did my slides go? Okay, so I'm not going to go into this in too much detail because in that video I do go into this. Like the way that I like to teach people about AI agents is not really like to tell you exactly what the tools are per se completely, because the tools are going to keep changing. Like right now, OpenAI's Agents SDK is winning. Like Google also has the AKT, like, you know, their version is winning, and end-to-end is the no code implementation right now for agents. But that's going to keep like getting better and better. Like within the next few months, I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a bunch of new agent SDKs and different builders that are coming out. So the way I like to think about it is like, instead of trying to understand exactly which tools to implement them, think about like agents as the different components that make up an agent. Just like if you're making a burger, there's like different components like the bun or the patty and the vegetables, the condiments, right? Like as long as you know the components of what it is you need to make an AI agent or make a burger, the actual like implementation of that can keep switching, and how you can like switch things in and out pretty easily. So you don't need to like be like freaking out every time there's a new architecture that's coming out, every time there's like a new SDK that's coming out or a new tool that's coming out, because you understand like it's just another tool to implement this architecture, which has been stabilized for some time now. And yeah, like the components of the architecture is that you always need a model, you need tools that allow the agents to do stuff with external systems and APIs. You can equip it with knowledge and memory so it can remember stuff and have access to different things, audio and speech. You can just decide if you want your agent to be able to have any audio functionalities, guardrails to make sure that you're ensuring proper behavior and preventing harmful behavior, as well as orchestration, like if you're using multi-agent systems and deploying it, how it is that you are putting everything together into production. These are like the key components of it. And yeah, you can like switch a lot of these out, like maybe switch out the model, different types of like knowledge and memory bases, and a lot of ways of doing that. But these are, as long as you like have, you like think about it in terms of this framework in choosing what you're using for each of these components, then you're able to create very effective AI agents for your specific use cases as well. Any questions about AI agents? From a scale of 1 to 10, how, oops, let me refresh this. From a scale of 1 to 10, how accomplished, from a scale of 1 to 10, how knowledgeable or accomplished, like, what's the word? Help me out, guys. What's the word? Like, how good do you think you are? How comfortable do you think you are at AI agents? You would say. Before I talk about vibe coding, what's the word? I literally said the word previously. Guys, help me out. I can't English right now. I do think one of the cons of the AI revolution is that my English abilities have substantially decreased over time, like substantially decreased. I don't think I'm able to formulate full sentences anymore, especially in writing. Like I don't write anymore. I just like put random words and phrases and make make it coherent. Cannot speaks. Been in this shit since July. How proficient? Thank you, Nico. Thank you. What the fuck is the right word? How proficient do you think you are at AI agents from a scale of 1 to 10? By the way, speaking of Nico, there is currently a cat who is called Nico, who is very cute. Isn't he so cute? Oh my gosh. Okay, back on track. Concentrate, Tina. Don't look at the cat. Okay, let's see, proficiency. Excuse me. 3, 8, 3, 1, 1, 9. Oh wow, 9. Very good. 0, 0, 0, 2 to 3, 8 to 9, 9 to 9.5, 0, 0.5 out of 10. You're doing cognizant. You're doing pretty good. All brain cells trying to figure out a word right after you woke up. Brain gonna get overheated. That's why I'm trying to drink water. He's so cute, isn't he? He's so cute. He's such a pretty color. Yeah, it's like this like beige color. I've never seen such pretty color on a cat before. 0. Okay. Well, if you guys, after prompting, I would say prompting is like, you know, the basics of things. If anybody's interested in getting in the field, if you like interested in making money through AI right now, I think, you know, this is a big part of it. Like if you just learn how to build AI agents for people, there's a lot of like contracting jobs as well as like full-time jobs available now that have the skill set. So if anybody's like, I don't know what to learn in order to do things in the AI space and make money and build a career, learn how to prompt and learn how to do AI agents. Yeah. Use the word AI agents very lightly. NA10 is good. How's the scaling issue? Yeah. My general thought right now is you can use no-code tools to prototype certain things, and it's okay. Like it really is quite good for prototyping and for very simple use cases, but they do break down pretty easily in production. So I still think that at some point you are gonna, if you want to build something that's like actually robust and scalable, you still need code implementations to do this. I would find it very hard to believe that you can really go like completely no code when it comes to agent implementations. Yeah, even in the future, like I'll be talking about like coding and making coding more available, but I genuinely still think that it's going to be very rare for people to be able to just completely go no code and implement agents in a good way. So I think decoding is still very important. However, it is also getting so much easier to actually code these agents too. Yeah. Akram, where is the bootcamp? Oh, DI agents bootcamp. Okay, let me actually show you guys. Yeah, so where's the link? I should have the link to my own bootcamp. Oh dear. 1 sec. Let me find it. That's awkward. I don't have the link to my own bootcamp. Okay, let me find it. Okay, so yeah, currently we are we sold out literally within like 40 hours. I never even like published it. I never even released it to the public because everybody that signed up for it, if you sign up for the workshop and for this, like if you sign up for this, all we did was release it, like pre-release it to the waiting list, and it was like sold out within 40 hours. So that's why like many of you guys may not have even like seen it, but let me put the link here. If you're interested, you can sign up for it. We'll email you when we're accepting people for the next cohort. AI agents bootcamp, sign up. Yeah, if you want. So this is where we go a lot more in depth. Oh, thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you. This is where we go a lot more in depth about actually how to build these AI agents. And it's also like a live sessions, and there's like mentorship that's available so people can show up with their actual thing that they want to build. Anybody actually on the live stream right now who's from the bootcamp? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, right. Okay. I talk too fast. Okay. I will try to talk more slowly. Okay. I get really excited. All right. Moving on. So agents, it looks like less people who are proficient in agents. So please go learn that. If you're interested in this field, if you want to make money in this field, if you want to develop your career in this field, learn how to build AI agents. Okay, so the next section, my bad, oops. Okay, oh no, where did the slide go? It disappeared. Okay, there it is. The next section is the coding. Oh my God, do you guys, okay, I take my words back. I'm never again gonna say something like, I think my coding is stupid. I think I said that like a few months ago. I take it back. I don't think vibe coding is stupid anymore. I think it's fucking insane is what it is. I don't think it's stupid at all. Yeah, in the beginning I was like, what the hell is this vibe coding situation? Yeah, I think I'm not gonna make predictions for things, specifically like predictions for things that I think are ridiculous from now on moving forward, because I'm gonna eat my words like 2 months later. Yeah, vibe coding, it is not stupid. I did like a whole video on it. I've been doing it for like a while now, and just like watching everything improve dramatically is like so crazy, especially with Claude Code. With like Ibrahim, who is on the chat right now, like we run the agents bootcamp together. And I was literally like, holy shit, Ibrahim. Like after like trying it out for myself, I had to like go for a walk because I was so shook at how good it is. So for anybody who doesn't know what vibe coding is, it's a new paradigm where you embrace the vibes and basically like just prompt to AI, the code builder, the like coding agent, to code for you, and then let your AI build things. So how many of you guys have tried vibe coding before? Type in the chat your proficiency over vibe coding, you would say, from 1 to 10. Yeah, I guess, yeah, 0 being like you've never vibe coded anything before, 10 being that you've vibe coded a lot of things before. Yeah, so this was, vibe coding was coined by Andrea Kaparthi. This was like only back in February, which is crazy. It's like within the span of 3 months. Like I thought it was so dumb in February, and then but in the span of like 3 months, I'm like, wow, this is like not dumb anymore. It's a new kind of coding where you fully give into the vibes, embrace exponentials, and forget that the code even exists. You just tell the AI what you want to build, and it handles the implementation for you. So here's the 5 fundamental skills, like the framework that I like to think about when it comes to good vibe coding, because vibe coding is still a skill in itself, and all of it is prompting, really. It's like a development from prompting, right? So the first one is thinking. Try to actually come up with a product requirements document, a PRD first, or whatever it is that you're building. What I always like to say to people is like, how do you expect the AI to know what you're building if you don't even know what you're building, right? So think through like what it is that you're building. The best way of doing that, in my opinion, is to come up with a product requirements document for the thing that you want to build. Who the target audience is, what is the feature, what's the user experience supposed to be like. I do have a video about this as well, so you can check out the fundamentals. The next one is frameworks. So even for people who don't know how to code, what I was saying about agents earlier, right? I do think code implementation for apps, for agents, for everything, it's still very much here to stay. But instead of like it becoming more and more no code, it actually went the other direction, in the sense that coding just became a lot easier for people to learn and a lot easier for people to implement, even if they don't actually write lines of code themselves because of vibe coding. I did not expect that, and I think it's really, really cool. So instead of people not having to learn to code, they just made it easier for people to code with vibe coding. And a big part of that is understanding the frameworks. So even if you don't know how to code, like you don't actually need to implement these things yourself, but it's still very important to understand how web apps work, for example, right? And knowing like what a front end is, knowing what a back end is, like React, for example, Express, like whatever these like general coding frameworks are, as you're vibe coding, if you just try to ask the AI and try to be more curious in terms of understanding how the file structures work and what the different packages and modules are doing, you would find that that's how you start building up your skill set as a vibe coder and being able to efficiently build applications and build agents and things like that, like being able to dive into it. So that's the second fundamental skill, is understanding frameworks. The third fundamental skill is checkpoints. Like always use Git and GitHub, some sort of version control. Do that, or else you're going to have very sad times when you lose all your things. These are just like fundamental engineering things that people who are vibe coding, who don't know how to code or are not engineers, may not be aware of. But these are like fundamental engineering things that you should be aware of if you're doing any sort of coding. Fourth one is debugging. Debugging is very much a skill. Everything is probably going to break repeatedly, so knowing how to fix that is a fundamental skill of an engineer. Especially how to do that using AI specifically, like copy pasting, different error messages, being able to point it to where the documents are, like which files to change. That is going to be part of the debugging process. And the fifth one is context. So more context that you provide your AI coding agent, the better it's going to be. So if you can include like mockups, examples, screenshots, detailed specs, whatever it is that you are showcasing, like if the more that you can showcase to the coding agent, the better it's going to become. So these are the 5 fundamental skills to be an effective vibe coder. The mnemonic here is the friendly cat dances constantly. Thinking, frameworks, checkpoints, debugging, and context. Quick, put in the chat. What was the mnemonic? Let's look at chat. Okay, from a scale of 1 to 10, how many vibe coders are there? Okay, so even less, right? So we have a lot of people who mastered coding, and then we have some people who mastered agents, and then for the vibe coding part, it looks like some of you guys, I would say there's a bimodal distribution. There's people who are at like 6 and above, and then there's people who are like 0 and 1, or 0.38 for some reason, from amazement. Yeah, so I do think vibe coding is here to stay, and it is very important for both like people who know how to code, who don't know how to code. If you want to build things, then you should probably learn how to vibe code. Yeah, when it comes to, actually, let me talk about like, the tools as well. There's a lot of different vibe coding applications out there, and I think it's quite a nice selection because it goes all the way from like very non-technical. It's like specific for non-technical people, and going all the way up for people who are very, very technical. The trade-off really is the more easy it is to use, like the more beginner friendly it is, the more you just get less, what's the word, oh my god, my English, this is so bad. you get less flexibility. Yes, you get less features, and you get less flexibility, and it's also going to be more expensive, and you might have problems like putting things into production. So you can start off with something like on the very, very beginner friendly part of the spectrum for you guys, like just as a suggestion, if you want to try it out and you don't know how to code at all, right? I would start off with something like either V0, Lovable, or Bolt. I would say these three are great entry points into it. Yeah, Lovable I think is my personal like favorite when it comes to like if you don't know how to code at all, because it has, and if you're building something that you want to be quite aesthetic. Bolt is really nice as well, and V0 is pretty good as well. They're honestly like, yeah, but I would say right now slightly having a bit more of an edge, I would say, is Lovable. Lovable or Bolt, I would say, like start off with one of those. I think they're all like around the same price point as well, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I think so. That's where I would start if you have zero experience, and they make the experience that it's like pretty much just prompting, right? It's like very, very beginner friendly. They even hide the code so you don't have to look at it if you don't want to. Moving into more advanced, so again, like when we increase in the tools, you get more flexibility, you have more functions that are available, but it does have like a higher learning curve. Would be Replit, I think, is next step up. So Replit is one of my personal favorites, because I think I love like Replit to do demos, especially because it's just enough for you to be able to build something, but there's still the code that's there, and you can actually go through the code and like edit it and things like that as well. So I think Replit is a next step up from there, and you can deploy it as well. You can deploy it from all of them, actually. These are all like web app builders, so you can deploy from all of them. So there's Replit, and then there's Firebase Studio. So Firebase Studio, one of the key benefits is that it is free. So I think that's a very good thing. Also, it is very good at doing backends. Apparently, it's supposed to be very good at doing backend stuff. It was not very good at doing backend stuff when I made a video about it. This is a Google product, by the way. But in the Google I/O, they did say that they were going to actually make the backend work. And why this is very, very important is because most of the vibe coding app platform thingies, they can come up with very good UIs, but they struggle with the backend. Like the backend is the thing that actually powers the web app that you're building. So they struggles with the backend. It might be able to manage a database, but if you're doing things that are a little bit more complex, it really does struggle with that. So Firebase Studio is supposed to be the solution to that, because it's built on Firebase, which is Google's like backend system that they already had for a very long time. It is free. Another benefit, I think it has like a full UI experience for both the code and the no code, so you can switch between them really easily. Yeah, so I think out of the web app builders, that is the most like advanced that you can get, with the most amount of functionality and the most features of the different web apps. So from there, you go a little bit more technical, then you get your Windsurf and your Cursor. So these are like coding IDEs, the coding agents, which are building things locally. Like Windsurf or Cursor is one step up, a lot more scalable. You have a lot more features available to you and you have a lot more control. But you do need to be able, you're setting up different environments yourself. And then you also need to, when you're deploying it, you need to do a lot of these things yourself. Obviously, you're like working with the AI agent as you're doing it. But it's unlike a web app where it's like a one-click kind of situation. You do need to go through the process of doing that. And finally, on the like even more technical side, which I personally am very excited about, like I'm very, very bullish on this, is command line tools like command line interfaces like Claude Code, for example. So Claude Code is something that runs in a terminal. So it literally runs within the root of your computer. And it's able to have access to everything in your development environment. And this is something that you can plug into any IDE, like, I don't know, VS Code or something like that. You can just plug it in directly, or you can just directly access it through the terminal and you can prompt it through there. Yeah, I think when I saw the demos and tried it out myself, I was pretty blown away. Out of all the ones that I've tried, I've pretty much tried all of them. Claude Code was by far the best at vibe coding. I want to show you guys maybe what I was talking about. Okay, I don't know if I have time. Might have to do another, maybe I should do like another vibe coding live stream. Should I do a vibe coding live stream? Another one? I think I did one. Did I do one? I can't remember. But should I do like a vibe coding live stream? Put in chat. Vibe coding live stream. I can go into more of that if you guys want. Yeah, but it like blew me away. So do try out Claude Code. It is very pricey, but it's freaking damn good. And I'm like convinced that command line tools are gonna, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of development in that area. I think there's gonna be a lot of different companies that are gonna be coming out with those as well. Let's see what the comments say. Any comments? Where did you guys go? You disappeared. Vibe coding live stream? Yeah? Okay. All right. Your wish is my command. Let's do it. All right. 9. Sad coding live stream. Ibrahim is very against vibe coding. Very, very against vibe coding. I used to be against vibe coding, but now I'm all for vibe coding. Give in to the vibes. Just give in to the vibes. Vibe coders assemble. Firebase Studio is massively underrated. Use it all the time. I think there's so much potential in Firebase Studio. I genuinely do. Lovable has a developer mode right now. I came with the reband. Oh, did it? Oh, okay. I haven't checked out the Lovable developer mode yet. So thank you for that. I will check it out. I will check it out. Have you guys used any of these, by the way? Like Lovable? Yeah, let me know. Which ones have you used? Like Lovable. Okay, let me like list off the common ones. Lovable, V0, what was it? Lovable, V0, Bolt. There's Chef as well. What else is there? Then there's Firebase Studio, Replit, Cursor, Windsurf, Claude Code. There's another, what was Google's command line tool? And what was OpenAI? I can't remember. It's too many now. What have you used? Let me know in the comments. What have you used? Windsurf and V0. Okay. Vibe or Cursor? What is Vibe? Vibe is just like giving into the vibes. So you're always giving into the vibes. They're all good. Jules. Ah, yes. There's so many now. I can't even keep track of them. All right. Let me continue here. So, yeah. The general, like, a little, like, tip that I like to that I shared in the video I did on vibe coding as well is that there's generally, it's good to think about 2 different frameworks when you're vibe coding. You're either implementing features or you're debugging errors, or literally either it's one of these. And most of the time you're probably debugging errors instead of implementing features. So when you're implementing features, you want to be providing context, mentioning frameworks, and making incremental changes. Remember this mnemonic here. And when you're debugging errors, you want to be understanding structure, providing error messages, and taking screenshots of the errors. And when you're vibe coding, like you always want to start with the MVP first and build incrementally. This is good engineering practices. Always use version control, let AI handle implementation while you focus on the direction. So you're really just like redirecting the vibes, directing the vibes, the correct vibes to power your AI code editor to be able to do stuff. Okay, so I do want to take a moment right now to talk about a sponsor for this portion of the live stream. These sponsors make it so that I can make these things completely freely available to you, these high quality live streams completely freely available to you guys. And many of you guys have probably heard about Brilliant before, but let me share my screen. So Brilliant is a STEM platform, a learning platform that is one of my favorites. I've literally been working with them for 4 years now, which is pretty insane. And yeah, they just have a lot of the, okay, let me share my screen actually. Here we go. It's great to see you back. Thank you. Professional growth. Okay, so I'm using like a different account right now, but let me just do the startup stuff here. Basic algebra. Okay, this is a different account. But yeah, they have like the startup process, and it's a platform that just is really, really good at teaching STEM subjects. If you're interested in the AI stuff, then you're probably also pretty interested in a lot of these other STEM subjects, and they do have AI courses as well. This is not the right account. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Okay. Yeah, it's a different account. Yeah, so I really recommend that if you're interested in learning about these subjects, any STEM subjects, like Brilliant is my go-to. It genuinely is. Even when you're learning about AI topics, most like courses, they don't really go into that much depth about it, but Brilliant really, really does. And they have like an entire AI section now, how AI works. So this is a really nice little, yeah, it's a very nice little course that's a non-technical course that gives you a very good understanding of how AI works. And you'll see here that it's very, very interactive as well. So try typing duh and submit. So it's not like just watching videos. It's not just like watching my content on YouTube. It's actually designed for you to learn a lot better. They did a study that using Brilliant is actually 6 times more effective at learning than if you just watch videos by themselves, because it's so interactive. They have a lot of different courses available. There's AI courses, there's math courses, there's pretty much any course that you can think of that's related to STEM. Yeah, so please do check it out. You can check it out for free, and if you use my link, which I will give to you guys right now, you also get 20% off the premium subscription, where you have access to everything. Let me get my link. I should really have gotten this earlier. I apologize. Let me give you guys my link now. Too many tabs open. Try out Brilliant for free. And you can also get 20% off the subscription if you want. Hold on. All of my tabs are all open. But here is the link. I guess you guys should see this, right? Okay. All right, do check it out if you're interested, and use my link if you want to purchase it. It really helps support the channel and helps me keep everything free for you guys as well. All right. Let's do some Q&A. We have a little bit more time, so I do want to do some Q&A. That's the 3 sections that I was able to cover. So I'm actually quite pleased with myself that I was able to cover all of them today, and have a little bit of time to spare. So those are the 3 sections: prompting, right, and then agents, and then vibe coding. Yes, those are the 3 things. And I do think going into the future, we're going to see a lot more on agentic stuff, and we're going to see a lot more opportunities there, and we're going to be building a lot more agents and then just like apps in general. So I do think these are very, very crucial skill sets for you to be learning. Yep. Thank you for joining the live stream. And don't forget, I have it pinned if you want these slides afterwards. Just sign up for the mailing list completely free, and we'll send you the slides and additional things as well. And if you're interested in the agents bootcamp, definitely sign up for that waitlist as well, because when we do release it, like last time, because we sold out so quickly, I probably won't even announce it to the public, so it'll just be like through the waitlist, if you're interested in that too. It's free for limited chat. I use that, and it's got MCP capability. What are we talking about right now? Does anybody have any questions? I am happy to answer some questions. Scrolling. Super base. What? I'm so confused by this chat right now. Give one thing Brilliant is different than Khan Academy. Yeah, Brilliant is completely interactive, right? Khan Academy, I think, is great, amazing free resource. Like literally, I've done videos from Khan Academy before, but they are videos, right? They have like little quizzes here and there, but Brilliant is completely interactive. What I showed you guys, like you're typing stuff in, you're moving your cursor around, and it's designed in that way so you're retaining the information better. You're not watching videos. In fact, Brilliant, the way that Brilliant works, they don't actually have videos. It's all like interactive based learning, because that's better for STEM subjects than just watching video content. So that is one big thing that Brilliant is different than Khan Academy. Do you feel like it's faster trying to learn things on Brilliant versus the traditional? Yes, absolutely. Like I genuinely really mean this. Like when I say that I've been working with Brilliant for 4 years, I first started off with Brilliant not because I was working with them, was because I was interviewing for a data science position at Meta at that time. And Meta was actually the one that introduced me to Brilliant during the interview process, because they were like, you should brush up on your math and stats for the interview. And they sent me over to Brilliant, where I brushed up my math and stats. I really think it is, because it's just so much more interactive and it forces you to think, right? With videos, at least for me, like maybe you guys are very good at concentrating. I'm not very good at concentrating. I just zone out after a while. But with Brilliant, you can't really zone out if you're literally fiddling around with the cursor and typing things in, right? I truly do stand by that. For how long is your discount on Brilliant? I thought they do change it. Like it wasn't always 20%, and I don't have any control, by the way, over this. Like right now it's 20%. It's been 20% for the past 3 months, I believe. So yeah, it's been 20% for the past 3 months. Yeah, but I don't know how long it would last for, until if they do decide to change it. You can start for free though. So I think what I would actually recommend, like I recommend just try it out for free, especially the AI courses, like how AI works. I think that the track is called How AI Works. I think you can do it for free. I would recommend doing it if you don't have a strong foundation in how AI works. I think that's a great course to start taking. Recommend an app to build for home aged care. Yo, that's hard for me to say. I don't know. More like I can recommend you how to build the app, but I don't know what exactly you want to build. But hey, remember the framework for vibe coding? The first thing is to think about it, come up with a product requirements document. If you don't even know what it is that you want to build, that's a problem. So you should think about what it is that you want to build first. Is it possible to connect an AI agent to IoT? Yes, it is. It is. And Google demoed that. Yeah, Google demoed it in I/O. Let's see. Is using frameworks like LangChain better than using automatic framework like NA10 for AI agentic? You mean like code versus no code, I assume is what you're talking about? I think no code is good for starting out. I think it's also good for prototyping. I think at some point if you want to build something that's actually robust, you are going to have to switch over to code. Yes. Hi Tina, should a backend engineer learn about AI or just learn how to use it? I think you should learn the basics of how it works, right? Like, and I'm not saying this as just you as a backend engineer. I think anybody, if you're going to learn how to do AI stuff, I'm a big proponent. I'm a big proponent of understanding fundamentals, because the tools are going to keep changing over time, right? All these companies are going to compete with each other to have like different types of tools, and yeah, like it's just going to keep getting better and better. It's going to get cheaper and cheaper. And instead of having to keep up with all the new tools that are coming out, if you just learn how things work from a fundamentals level, you can use any tool that you want that's coming out instead of worrying about which tool is best for something. Also, look at that sleeping cat. I'm going to show you guys cat again. Isn't he so cute? Oh, so cute. His name is Nico. He's a very pretty cat. I don't know what breed he is. Oh shit. But he's sort of beige. Does anybody know what breed Nico is? Sorry, not to be super distracted right now, but he has these like orange eyes and is like this beige color. Very pretty. It has 20% off, but how much does Brilliant cost? Let's find out. Brilliant pricing. I do not recall what it was, but we can find out. Right now for me, so discount unlock for Tina Huang viewers is what it says right now. Wow, it actually has my name on it. Let me show you guys. The discount, so it says discount unlock is $10.79 per month. This is based in the US. I don't know, it might be different wherever it is that you're located, but you do get 20% off wherever it is that you are located based upon that. I don't know if they do price adjustments per region, but this is US dollars in the US. For annual and monthly is $27.99. Yeah. Let's see. What else? Which of these, okay, my final question for you guys is, which of these are you going to be working on now? Prompting, agents, or vibe coding? Obviously, you could do all three, but which one do you think is the major thing that you think that you should be working on now, like focusing on? Interested in focusing on? Let's see if anybody else has any questions. I get it for $1 in Argentina, really? Damn, that's good. How good is your Chinese? I'm fluent. 你想听我说中文吗？我可以跟你说中文。你想让我说什么？ Yeah, I'm completely fluent. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. Maybe one day I would do a live stream in Chinese one day. I don't know. I think I would not. I would be too awkward to do it in Chinese. But I am fluent technically. Can you deploy your app using Firebase Studio for free? So the answer is yes. In the video, I actually said like, oh, I think I need to pay for this because it gave me like a pop-up that said I need to pay for it. But I did deploy it and I didn't have to pay for it. So I think you can do it for free. Probably it's up to a certain extent or a certain time period that you can deploy it for free. And then you might have to pay, but it is completely free from beginning to end if you're using Firebase Studio. Yeah. I'll stay around for another couple minutes before I end this live stream. AI talk, please. Ask Gemini on phone. Oh, that is true. I did not think of that. I was just going to ask you guys. Can you guys just tell me? I'll show it to you guys. You guys put Gemini on the cat and tell me what kind of cat it is. Burmese? Is it a Burmese cat? Isn't he quite fluffy for a Burmese? I thought Burmese cats were rather, I want to say streamlined, but that is not the right word. Are not fluffy. Sleek. I thought Burmese cats were rather sleek. He's very fluffy. Pudding cat is so cute. Okay, so let me see. Agents. Okay, so most of you guys prompting. Ooh, okay. Let me get to the beginning. Just prompting. Agents is my biggest goal for now. Prompting. I'll start doing agents, upskill, vibe coding, prefer prompting. Cool. Agents and vector databases. Okay. What's agents? How do they work? You should watch the live stream so you can find out. Prompting. Okay, cool. I'm already prompting when I use ChatGPT. I think most of your audience is English. Yes, most of my audience is based in the US. That is true. I'm getting it $5 monthly. That's pretty good for Brilliant. Don't do it in Chinese unless you do a movie with Jackie. Chat, learn in Chinese. Agents. Can I see him again? Sure. Let me show you Nico again. Close up of Nico. Yes. Okay, so it looks like most of you guys are focused on prompting, huh? Prompting and then agents. Cool. So that is great because you have a lot to dig into now. Master prompting and then move on to agents and then move on to all right, thank you all so much for being here. I hope this was a helpful live stream. Really hope it was a helpful live stream. I'm gonna put the link again. If you want the slides, you can sign up here. If you want to sign up for the Agents Bootcamp, which we will probably be running sometime next month again. Don't know the exact dates yet, but if you want to sign up for the wait list so we can email you when it becomes available, you can sign up here. Yes. Thank you so much and have a good rest.